Hello and welcome to the first ever virtual gala for the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum. Oh my goodness, those opening shots just blew me away. A lot of you maybe haven't had a chance to get out to the Arboretum this year, and that really brought me there. I hope it brought you there as well. That stunning landscape is one of the reasons we are all here tonight. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Belinda Jensen, and I'm honored to be hosting tonight's gala. This is my 9th gala for the Arb. It is just a gem in Minnesota, and I really love that I get to go there for work on basically on a monthly basis, and it's great to be here tonight to make great dollars for such a great cause. And although I am missing the energy and the excitement of the tent, where typically we all are after, of course, strolling through the gorgeous gardens, there is a silver lining to this virtual event. Now get this, we have almost 600 folks that are joining in from 12 states. So welcome to you all. It was a beautiful day here in Minnesota, very fall-like for September 17th. We did get up to only about 62 degrees, by the way, but it was a beautiful day. So welcome home to Minnesota, and thank you for watching from whatever part of the country you are watching from. Tonight, you'll learn more about the healing power of nature and the cutting-edge, nationally recognized work of the Plant Conservation Program at the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum. But before we get to that, I would, of course, like to introduce my friend, another gala veteran, Andy Imholt, who, of course, you and I have been to this event, gosh, I think all 9 years we've been together, right?
We've been doing this so long, and this is such a great night. Belinda, thank you for welcoming everyone here. It's so great to be back, and it's great to be here with you.
Yes, and we, of course, are in Minneapolis. We are socially distanced. We're 6 feet apart. We have Bob on camera. He's about 9 feet from us. We've got other folks here in beautiful Minneapolis. We're right along the Mississippi River in a gorgeous spot, raising money for, of course, the Landscape Arboretum. In the next 25 minutes or so, we're going to remind you of the joy of the Arboretum and what it brings to people from all over the Twin Cities metro area, the state, the upper Midwest, or whatever state you're, of course, watching from.
And that's right, Belinda. Tonight, we need to raise over $280,000 to fund the Arboretum's operations and the improvement to their plant conservation program.
Yeah, it's really a unique event because we're talking about really unique plants that could go away if we don't take care of them. So we're talking about a goal. It's a lofty goal. It's $280,000 in the next, 23 minutes?
Yeah, boy, there is a countdown here. It is a big goal, but I am confident that we can do it. Last year, with just over 300 people in the room, we easily achieved our goals. And we've doubled our audience. And I believe we could possibly tonight even hit our stretch goal of $300,000. This is a group who loves the Arb and always digs deep to support its programs. Remember last year, we sold that behind-the-scenes tour with Pete Moe 3 times?
Yes, we did. And if you've had a chance to come to one of our galas, we have so much fun, and we're really looking forward to 2021 when we're all back together. It was great, and the bidding was so exciting. But Andy, we won't have that kind of excitement in action this year. Of course, maybe you will at your couch. You could be doing the wave. We don't know what you're doing.
Absolutely. We're ready for some applause at home. You cheer it on for
Pour
those
yourself
parties.
A glass of wine. I hope you've enjoyed your dinner. It's going to be a great night.
It's going to be a fast-paced program for sure. And we've got a lot of people online tonight. I can see here on ClickBid that the bidding has been very competitive as we've been getting started. That East Cliff dinner is a super hot item. And the behind-the-scenes tour with Pete Moe, once again, it's backed by popular demand.
Fabulous new president, of course, at the University of Minnesota. And such an exciting time at the University of Minnesota with all of the changes that they've gone through. They're doing such a great job of bringing everybody back to campus and getting everything going. So now that you're all tuned in to the Arb Virtual Gala, you know how important it is that this organization is to the community of course, the Twin Cities and all of Minnesota. With almost 500,000 visitors a year going through the gates and over 28,000 member households, I think the friends of the Arb who are watching tonight are going to give generously to this important Minnesota institution, as they always do.
I totally agree with you. Last year, we funded 3 new plant mobiles. Those new vehicles were used by the Arboretum Education Department to provide plant-based learning experiences to more than 11,000. That is giving with an impact.
And that is going county to county and reaching people that never have a chance to go through the gates at the Arboretum.
And thinking back to 2018, you remember we had some generous supporters who set a new fund-to-need record that year. Everyone got on board and donated to fund a tram to make the Landscape Arboretum more accessible to people of all ages and abilities. Think what we could do if all 2,400 of our Master Gardener volunteers and our 1,000 plus Arboretum volunteers tune in
like
tonight.
11,000,
They
though.
do work like 11,000. Absolutely, Linda. Think what we could do. This could be the best gala ever.
By the way, I love your jacket, but I also really love the sparkly one you wore at the gala.
I know. I saw that photo. I kind of
missing it.
It doesn't show up on camera the same, you know?
Well, you know what? It is going to be a great night. And now let's hear from someone else who's hoping that this is the best gala ever. I'm so excited to welcome the director of the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum, Mr. Pete Moe, live from the Arboretum on Zoom tonight. Hi, Pete.
Hi, Belinda. I'm fine, and I want to thank you for hosting this event. We couldn't do it without you, and we love partnering with you on Grow with Care.
Well, we love being a part of the Arboretum and showcasing all that it's about. We really appreciate that. Now, I wouldn't miss it. I, of course, always love coming to this gala. I love bringing my parents. They're watching tonight, which is so much fun. And you know what? The Arboretum has really felt an impact of the last year. What has it been like? If folks haven't had a chance to get out there now with all of that has been going on in 2020.
Well, that's right, Belinda. Like many organizations, it's been an enormously challenging year. We weren't able to fully open the grounds for weeks, actually months, and still are not back to business as usual. During this time, we missed our wonderful members, our volunteers, and we missed making new relationships with new members. But that's why, working with our university partners, we implemented a 3-tiered reopening strategy centered around one unifying theme: welcome back to nature. It was so fun for me on the first day we reopened on May 7th. I was standing on the hill in a beautiful bed of daffodils, watching the cars driving up from the gatehouse. They hadn't been out to the Arboretum for over 6 weeks. Everybody was smiling, and they were looking forward to seeing all the blooming trees and shrubs and 30,000 tulips that were in full bloom that day.
Wow.
And ever since then, it's been a gradual increase. We've been able to open the entire grounds now in some of our buildings, and it's been that theme of welcome back to nature underscores the totality of what the ARB offers. 1,200 acres of nature in its purest form, with all the documented health benefits and for our well-being.
Well,
so thankfully, well, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, you are so right, because I think that this year in particular, more than any other year, being out in nature is not only soothing, it's not only stress relieving, but it's absolutely crucial for every age group, because it actually makes you feel better, right?
It absolutely does. And I walk at the Arboretum, but when my dogs are getting their toe pads wore off, I've walked them so many times this summer. And it's great to be outside. And it's so fun to see families here at the Arboretum enjoying all the things that our staff work so hard to present every year.
Well, let's talk about the new projects. I know that there's some new projects that I'm just reading about tonight. So I'm so excited. So tell us what's coming up as we move forward.
Well, there's always new things, Belinda. And this year, under construction right now is a new regional bike trail that will connect the Arboretum to existing trails so people can come from all over the metro area without having any safety issues. There's new underpasses under highways 5 and 41, and they'll be able to come right to the Arboretum. And the trail is not built along the shoulder of Highway 5. We worked with the Carver County to run it through the Arboretum. And so it's going to be a great experience. We're going to add members. We're going to add more visitors. And it's great when people ride their bikes or walk out. They don't need a parking space.
True.
That's right. But of course, most people still drive to the Arboretum. And so the top priority project for us now, we're finishing up just in the finishing stages of a planning process for new entrance and safety improvements and parking. We need to get people off of Highway 5 on our busy days. And so with its plans for it's going to take several years, but plans for a stoplight and a new intersection. And then once people get into the Arboretum, there would be additional parking so people can safely enter the Arboretum, park their car and enjoy nature, not spend time looking for a parking space. So that's going to be a top priority for us. There's also other new ways that people can experience the Arboretum, like the Farm at the Arb, which is complete and open now. And the farm will educate the next generation of agricultural leaders in Minnesota. And of course, our plant research is second to none around the country. And one reason we're one of the top botanic gardens in the US is this very high quality research. And some of the new plants that people can look for in just a few years, or even some are available now, are an Asian pear, the crisp type of pear that people really enjoy eating. a big hit is going to be a new seedless table grape. The first seedless table grape from the University of Minnesota will be out in a few years.
Wow.
A tree that's already available is True North Kentucky Coffee Tree. What a great name for a plant from the University of Minnesota and from the Minnesota Arboretum, True North. And then another new one, a columnar hornbeam called Skylark. I think that's a cool name too. So these are all plants that are fully adapted for Minnesota. They're superior to other plants on the market. The nurseries will love growing these. Growers will be happy with the grapes and the new pear, and we can grow these plants in our backyard. So we're really excited about that. We're also recommitted to increasing diversity at the Arboretum of our staff, of our volunteers, of our board of trustees. We want to match the communities in which we live and work. And then we're also going to continue to fully utilize the power of partnership with the University of Minnesota and CFANS, which uniquely positions the Arboretum to share the latest research and developments for almost 500,000 visitors per year, creating moments of discovery. Only the Arb can do that. And finishing off, it's very important, continue our partnerships with existing donors and new donors who choose to invest in the Arboretum mission to welcome, inform, inspire our community through outstanding displays, protected natural areas, horticultural research, and education.
That's awesome. You know, the farm in particular, I know is really important to you. And how wonderful is that next to the Bee Center, along with all those new plants you mentioned. I know you live and breathe this place, but I have to tell you that we so appreciate your leadership because this place has such great momentum because of what you have brought to the table. And I so appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you again because I haven't seen you in so long. It's so nice to talk to you tonight.
Well, I'm honored to have this job, Belinda. Thank you for your kind words, but I couldn't do it without the many staff, volunteers, trustees, donors, members, the whole bunch. They're all really important.
Well, it looks really nice behind you as well. What's your weather forecast there at the Arboretum? What's it like right now?
Oh, beautiful. Great fall day, just like you said.
Wonderful.
That's a photo of my backyard.
Oh, I see. I figured you were close by. All right. Well, listen, Peter, thank you again. We so appreciate your leadership and your message tonight.
Well, you're welcome, Belinda. And thank you for your commitment to the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum.
Well, we're going to continue on with a great event tonight. Next up, we're delighted to hear from the 17th president of the University of Minnesota and the first woman to hold this position, Dr. Joan Gable. She's, of course, my husband's boss as well. Dr. Gable came to the University of Minnesota in July last year after serving as a provost of the University of South Carolina. And what a year she has faced. My goodness, her steady leadership has been decisive, and her communication with the entire community has been open and clear. Here is Dr. Gable.
Good evening. It's great to be with all of you and to share what I know is a signature event at the Arb. Now, I know the last few months have not been what any of us anticipated or hoped for. We're all facing new challenges as this pandemic evolves and changes on us every day. But throughout all of this, I want to call attention to how the Arb's team has demonstrated unbelievable character, creativity, resiliency, and strength, and our entire university community stands in appreciation for those efforts. I'm also really proud that the Arb was one of the first units of the University of Minnesota to reopen during the pandemic. And across these 1,200 spectacular acres and during these really challenging times, the Arb has offered us a welcome back to nature, something that we all know personally and that research informs us serves an important physical and psychological need for our overall health and well-being. You've also shown the way nationally as other public gardens have modeled their reopening plans after ours. And I'd really like to applaud the way in which the Arb, through its work with CFANS, has partnered with the state of Minnesota and beyond. You only have to look at the farm at the Arb, the original location for this gala, as an example. The Arboretum partnered with several grower associations and corporations to make this farm come alive, literally. And it partnered with many of you to transform an idea into what you see today at the farm at the Arb. I'd also like to recognize the Arb's Plant Conservation Program, led by Dr. David Remicall. You'll learn more about Dr. Remicall's program in just a few minutes. But friends, the Arboretum deepens the university's impact. It deepens our service to the state and beyond. And with your support, the Arboretum blooms fully, standing as one of the nation's finest public gardens while enriching the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. But before I close and say goodnight, and through this evening's auction, I look forward to hosting some of you for dinner at East Cliff as soon as we can. I thank you for everything you do for the ARB and for the University of Minnesota. Please stay healthy, safe, and well.
Well, thank you so much, President Gable, for your leadership and your recognition of the Arboretum's value to this community, this state, this region, and quite literally to the world. The world is focused on us, focused on the ARB and on Dr. David Remicall. And he and a dedicated team work to save hundreds of plant species. This year's Fund a Need for the Arboretum is the Plant Conservation Program. Please take a look.
Less than 2% of native prairie and big woods, old growth big woods in Minnesota remain. It's a lot of land that's not there anymore. And so there are a lot of plant species in general, not just orchids, but a lot of plant species in general that may have been common at some point. But if you lose 98% of your home, there's a good chance you're going to be rare. Rare plants don't often get rescued in Minnesota, unfortunately. I'm David Remicall. I manage the Plant Conservation Program here at the Arboretum. I started in 2013, and I started as a part-time employee. It was really the beginning of the Plant Conservation Program at that point.
The program here is unique in that David determined to evaluate a lot of the native and rare and endangered plants in the state of Minnesota.
I think now there are roughly 300 plant species on the Minnesota Endangered and Threatened Species list. That's way more species than 2.5 staff and half a dozen or a dozen volunteers even can manage. There's just way more work out there. So a lot of what we do is try and figure out what are our next targets. We're trying to do research and create an infrastructure where people can see rescue as a viable means of dealing with rare plants in Minnesota. That, in a lot of ways, drives me for a lot of the work I do, a lot of the conservation work that I do specifically, is that I feel like there is a lot of repairing that needs to be done. We kind of owe it to the state to keep as many of our rare plants as we can, because we are the cause of a lot of them being rare.
There are a lot of orchids, native orchids, for which there are no standards and no one in the world has had success growing. And that's what's happening in this laboratory. We are actually having success growing orchids no one has ever been able to grow before. So I just think this is so exciting. It's wonderful work. It's groundbreaking work.
We need to keep it going. We need to keep make sure that it can survive and propagate and come back next year and be there and provide that same beauty to somebody else. I have a grandson who's 4 years old, and we go out into the garden and we learn the names of all the flowers in the garden. And it's not important that you learn the names, but what it is important to me and to him is that you recognize this is what a flower is. This is why it's beautiful. This is why it brings joy to your life. And this is why you want to make sure it's around for his grandchildren.
There is a pretty urgent need for funding, not just for our conservation effort, but for conservation efforts around the country, really. And we need your support. This yellow lady slipper is a perfect example of why we need that support. And there are all kinds of orchids and other plants like it that if we don't help them, they will disappear. We want to preserve these flowers for future generations.
Wow. 98% of Minnesota's native prairie and old growth forests have disappeared. Many of the plant species that lived in those habitats have disappeared as well. Time is ticking away. Dr. Remicall and his small team are working against the clock to preserve these plants. This year's Fund a Need is critical because the clock is ticking for more than 300 species of plants. The team at the ARB has created a seed bank that will help bring back species that disappear in their natural habitat. A gift to tonight's Fund a Need will help the ARB live its mission of research and education, and your support will help mitigate the effects of diminishing habitat for Minnesota's native plants. So Belinda, it's time to give.
Yeah, I know. We've done so many different Fund to Needs in our 9 years together. And of course, this event's been going on for a number of years beyond that. And this one is really, really very, very special and something that we just cannot ignore. You know, our goal tonight is $280,000, and we're hoping to possibly get up to $300,000 tonight. And again, the bidding is going to start now, but it's actually not going to end until 9 o'clock, right? We should remind people of that. So if they want to think about it a little bit, not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's on the silent auction, on the bidding, you can do that till 9 tonight. But now it's time for us to really get this party started with our Fund to Need. We're going to start off the night with a $35,000 gift. Now that is what I call getting us going.
That's fantastic.
This incredibly generous donation is from the Alice and Fred Wall Family Foundation and is going to provide a special vehicle for that plants conservation program we were just seeing in that video.
Yeah, that's great. So they can get around and look at what's going on. You know, they need a heavy-duty off-road vehicle to get out there and, of course, save those plants, look what's growing, look what's dying, figure out why that's happening. And we want to thank the Alice and Fred Wall Family Foundation for starting us out at a whopping $35,000 donation.
That is a big start. So now let's go to our level of $25,000. At this level, we have two incredible gifts that have been donated tonight as a match. Georgia and Jim Thompson have donated $25,000. And Janine Rivet and Warren Herod have also contributed $25,000. Thank you, Georgia, Jim, Janine, and Warren. I'm sorry that I can't see you in person. I love talking with all of you. But, you know, your gift tonight means so much. Belinda, how quickly do you think we could use up this $50,000 worth of a match?
That's amazing, that match. Oh, my goodness. Andy, knowing this group, I think we can get there in just a matter of minutes.
Okay, so let's get going. So we're going to move to the $10,000 level. And at that level, to kick us off, to get us started, we have some of my favorite people to see as well at this event, Carmen and Jen Campbell. Thank you so very much for getting us started. Thank you to the Campbells. We're already a fifth of the way to our $50,000 match thanks to that donation. You can join the Campbells if you want to as well at that $10,000 level. Just donate it right now. Click and get it right in there, and we'll see that number continue to rise through the night. I'm going to move on now because we have three people that believe so much in what we were doing here tonight that they wanted to start us off at the $5,000 level. Joe Tazjan donated $5,000,
Way to go, Joe.
and we saw him in the video with his grandson. That was an awesome moment in the video, absolutely. And we have two anonymous $5,000 gifts as well. That's another $15,000 at the $5,000 level. If you have the means and want to join us at that $5,000 level, think of the 46 species of orchids you could help save from extinction, or the 300 plus species of Minnesota plants that have lost their habitats. Your donation at the $5,000 level will completely fund an extended research trip to work on one of our most remote sites north of Ely in the Boundy Waters canoe area. We have a cloudberry population up there. Oh, there are only about 6 of them left in Minnesota. And we need to monitor and check the health of these remaining plants.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
That's fantastic that they're getting up
look
there
at the
and
look
doing
at the picture of it. It's just
beautiful.
beautiful, and just
Yeah.
to have, we know that we need to watch them because there's so few left. It takes a long day canoe trip to get close to the 6 remaining plants. An overall trip would take 4 to 5 days, and $5,000 covers the staff salary, travel, and supplies. And you need supplies to get up there for sure. So definitely think about that donation. But maybe you want to give at the $1,000 level. In fact, at the $1,000 level, your gift will help create a population of fairy slipper orchids at Itasca State Park.
Which is a beautiful state park and really been busy this summer. People are up checking out, of course, the headwaters of the Mississippi.
Yeah, and at this time, once again, like you said earlier, being out in nature is so important, and people are I think they're rediscovering their love for Itasca specifically. Just an amazing opportunity.
Yep.
It's another orchid that Dr. David Remicall thinks is much rarer than people realize. $1,000 would fund initial planting and monitoring of this new population.
Really tangible goals, things that people can really understand. They've been to these places. They want to save these beautiful, beautiful plants. Andy, we've been focused on tonight's Fund to Need and the plant conservation program. The ARB is so confident that we can fully fund Dr. Emma call that they have given us a second complimentary funding option tonight.
Oh.
If you're motivated to support the operations of the Arboretum, and if you want to ensure that the beautiful grounds, the classes, the plant mobiles, and of course that 500,000 visitors can go to the Arb and get this beautiful experience, the joy of nature, you can choose to direct tonight's donation to the Arboretum's general fund as well. And when you go to the donate page, you're going to see a picture of a lady slipper and a picture of the big red barn at the farm. You can see those there on the left. By clicking the lady slipper, you're going to direct your gift to that plant conservation program. Now, if you click the barn, you're going to donate to the Arboretum operations. Both great things to do. So just go ahead and choose, and I love the fact that you can choose.
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely.
great.
2 options is wonderful, and it's terrific that we get an opportunity to do that. Why don't, if you're out there right now, sitting there thinking, maybe because of these 2 great directions I could be giving donations, what if maybe I doubled my donation tonight? This is that opportunity. Doubling your donation and giving half to plant conservation and half to operations could mean a great deal to everyone at the Arb.
And a lot of people that have companies out there, my company in particular, they typically double any donation that you have, and this year they're tripling it.
Wow, that's amazing.
The Technic Corporation that I work for. So that's why, that's something to think about as well. So think about what your company is doing. Andy, a lot of people are donating right now as we speak, and that is very, very exciting because we're understanding that it's moving along really nicely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, everyone, let's continue on talking about some other levels and what those levels can do. The $500 gift will help fund the classroom supplies and equipment needed for 1 middle school classroom for the Project Orchid, an orchid-based hands-on science project. People who donate tonight will have a real impact on the environment and can claim direct personal responsibility for helping save Minnesota's native species. This is an amazing legacy.
And we all know that we do need to, of course, get the kids outside and get them to understand how important nature is, how things grow, how their food grows, and that's what the classes at the Arb do. And making them aware of orchids is also a really important part. Andy, anyone who supports the Arboretum is leaving a legacy that will stand the test of time. And speaking of time, we just have a few more minutes in this broadcast. So donate now. Don't wait until we have signed off for the evening. So just do this. Why not?
Tick tock, tick tock. We got to move. The time is running out for many of these plants in this state. And now is the time to donate and support plant conservation and the mission of the Arboretum. If you can join us at the $100 level, you will be providing some of the tools needed for 1 landscape gardener for a whole season. Or $100 will help fund setup of 1 orchid box, including soil upkeep, seedling, and development of the orchid.
Yep, every single dollar counts. $100 goes a long way at the Arboretum.
Yeah, and while people are signed on at the donation page, let's take a moment to remind our friends about the auction items, because there's still time to bid till 9 o'clock, I heard, to bid on those auction items, on the dinner with President Joan Gable, the tour with our pal Pete Moe, and take home the beautiful hydrangea earrings. These are all opportunities,
Well, who wouldn't want to go and have dinner with Joan, of course, at East Cliff? I've never had a chance to go to East Cliff, but I've driven by it a couple of times.
Yes.
It's stunning.
It absolutely.
And she's a wonderfully beautiful woman who is so smart, really unique to talk to. And of course, with the challenges that she's had, I'm sure that it would be an interesting conversation. And of course, Peter, who doesn't want to hang out with Peter at the Arboretum? So there's also dinner for 10, as I mentioned, at the Bee Center, which is a phenomenal place at the Arboretum. James Beard Award semifinalist Bob Gherkin from the Travail Collection is going to actually use Arb-grown fruits and vegetables in this dinner and also pair wines, and it would be a wonderful night. So dinner
excuse
for
me,
10.
I got to find my phone. I got to start
Dinner for
bidding.
10.
That sounds great.
I know. I love it. And and I love that, the Bee Center is such a great place. I mean, it's so beautiful there. So.
Oh man, yeah. This is just. I feel like we're preaching to the choir here a little bit. The people who are here, they know and they miss all the things we're talking about too. So get your bids in, bid early, bid often, like we say, and like we said. Also, we have till about 9 p.m. We're getting so close to the end of our broadcast, and I hope you've taken the time to donate. Any gift is appreciated, and we'll be putting them to great use. Maybe we didn't ask for the level you want to give. You want to give something more or less or something in between. Maybe you just wanted to give $50,000 and match that donation. Whatever you can give, we really appreciate. Every dollar makes a difference for what we're doing here tonight, and
Andy,
you
Andy,
have made a
Andy.
difference.
So they're telling me,
Yes.
they're,
Hold on,
they're
hold on.
counting it up or using calculators.
This just in.
Yeah, we're currently at over $240,000, just over $240,000.
So close.
Yes, so close.
We're so close. Keep those bids coming in. Keep
That's
rolling in. We want to get
wonderful.
that match used up.
Wow.
We want to get to that 280 number. We're so close. And I want to remind everybody, you can continue to make donations till September 24th.
Which is a week from today.
Yep, absolutely. You have 1 week, and you can bid on the auction items until 9 p.m. tonight. And I want to thank you for your generosity and for, I want to thank you all for generously for all the giving that you've done. I know that Pete Moe, that Dr. Joan Gable, that Dr. Remicall, and everyone at the Landscape Arboretum is thrilled and grateful.
Oh, I know. I think about all the gardeners, all the volunteers, all the places, all the people that go there daily to work. They love it, and they keep it so beautiful for all of us. So we're thrilled and grateful for so many people who made this amazing virtual gala happen. Let's start with our sponsors. Thank you to our presenting sponsor in honor of Gary Cook. Our gold sponsor is Toro. Our silver sponsors tonight, a great company that loves the Arboretum, Cargill, and I know a lot of friends are watching from Cargill tonight, and Jenny Verner, and the Bailey Nurseries and the Bailey family. The bronze sponsors tonight, the Otten Brothers Landscaping Company. The Friends sponsors tonight, Hawkins and Solution Blue, and our in-kind sponsor tonight, MPX. We also want to thank the dedicated Gala Committee led by co-chairs Jennifer Allen and also Judy Folk, because it couldn't happen without them. And we cannot forget our gold and silver party hosts tonight, because they're having parties kind of here and there, everywhere around the city. And as you can see them, they're having a great time.
Yeah, there's Jennifer
Little
and Judy
food.
right there.
Yeah, exactly. I want to thank Jennifer and Judy, because it's been an interesting year. There's been so many hurdles to get over with. Hi guys, how you doing? Linda Coulter family, Georgia Thompson's family. Thank you so much. So many different hurdles to get through. Betsy and John.
Look at all these parties.
Hi,
Look at this.
Judy.
Great.
Little house party. Isabel and Stephen Keatings, and of course Otis, the dog. Hi, Otis. A lot of folks joining us
All dressed
tonight.
up with his bow tie. I love
Looking
it.
good. And finally, we want to thank you, each and every one of you who are tuned into this event. You make it happen. We are so grateful that you've joined us to learn more about the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum and support its mission.
Belinda, before we sign off, I want to let you know what we've been doing with our giving. I think that we're really close to that same
Are we
total.
getting close?
We're continuing to get close. I just really want to encourage one last time, everyone. Give. If you've given once and you want to just give one more time, you just give another $100 right there at the end. We'll just keep on giving.
Hey,
We'll
until,
keep making this
you know
happen.
what, one thing we could chat about is the fact that if you're not aware that the Arboretum is absolutely open, there's a few things that you have to do in order to get there. But I want to also let you know that as we move forward into the fall, one of the best times to go there, and winter, they're going to go ahead and they're going to be able to do that light supply, the light
Oh,
show.
yeah.
And that was super popular last year. I went out with my daughter and her friends. It was fantastic. So they're going to be able to do that as well. So, I mean, just wonderful.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Remember that, continue to plan, and I think we all are looking for amazing opportunities to go out and enjoy Minnesota. And as it gets colder, we're going to be looking for places like the Arboretum to get in touch with nature, even in the dark with lights.
Yeah,
you know.
and always a great place to learn as well. So as of just a second ago, they're telling me we're just at 250. We're just at 250.
So close, guys. You're
That's
doing
pretty
great work.
amazing.
And I want to say thank you to everybody that's donated already. And I just want to encourage anyone who's just on the fence or thinking about it, send a message to your friends, your family, people that maybe aren't on or couldn't make it tonight. And let's get a few more donations and let's cross that finish line.
Yeah, because we have until 9 o'clock. And then, of course, if you want to go ahead and give to the Fund a Need, you have another week to do that. And it's going to be beautiful next week. So go to the Arboretum. That's what the weather forecaster that I know said. It's going to be really nice. We'll be on it tonight telling you all about that on KARE 11. KARE 11's just loves our relationship with, of course, the Arboretum as well. So keep donating, keep bidding, keep the Arb in your hearts and minds, and believe in the healing power of nature. Thank you for tuning in, and get outside, visit the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum, and enjoy everything that it offers. Andy, thank you. It was so nice to do this with you, because we both are just learning how to do this too. So we really do appreciate you joining us tonight. And we'll see you next year at the Arboretum for the 2021 Arboretum Gala. Good night.